Hi folks from downtown Auckland. Remember a couple of weeks ago I did a movie about all my press passes. So these are the biggest flower shows in the world, and there's one show that's on every 2 years for a week, and that invites people from all these different flower shows to compete side by side and create loads of wonderful, absolutely wonderful. This is Jules from New Zealand.
Jules Moore,
and she's done lots and lots and lots of wonderful in the past. And she's New Zealand's competitor for this year's show in Singapore.
Fantasy division.
The Fantasy Garden.
You're one of the international designers. There's
Right.
6 designers in the fantasy division and 6 in the landscape division.
Right.
Yeah.
I know that it's huge, eh?
It's really big, yeah.
Yeah. So what's it like? What do you...
Well, I've just come back from Singapore. It's my second trip this year. And
Okay.
I needed to get things like put in place that I could feel really safe and good, you know, in my heart.
Yeah.
Because in another 5 weeks I'll be heading back there and doing everything for sure. So this recce trip was all about getting the correct plants. We went plant shopping for beautiful rare plants. My implementing partner and I.
Yeah. That's pretty cool that they have a... Yeah. So they know all the tricks and where to get them from. And
Exactly. So we marked it all out on site, and I've got a big canvas covering it at the moment, and there's you know, it's going to be a fantastic 3-dimensional display.
wow.
And also a lot of audio. We've made our own audio recording.
Yep.
And we, as a team, my family and I are going to be putting our own voices to the audio.
Right.
So if you can imagine that the light will be down 50%, it'll be amazing lighting display within my 8x8 metre garden too.
8x8. That's quite big, isn't it?
Portals to Paradise.
Okay.
And there's a reason for that, because it's enveloped with a big white cave with holes all through it.
Wow.
It's distinctly bone-like.
Okay.
Bone-like, yeah. So, yeah.
It's amazing what you can do and what you're allowed to do.
In a small space, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And I will be allowing people through the garden.
Right.
I think that's really, on all my gardens I've ever made here in New Zealand, I've always wanted people to experience the feeling walking through the garden.
Right.
Because it's different to when you're just statically looking at it in the front there, as to what it is, you know, when you...
People get a whole different feeling if they can walk through.
And it's all about feeling.
Yeah.
You know, you can create a 3-dimensional garden, but unless you've got the sight, sound, and that whole, you know, vibe going on, that just takes it to another level. So that's why we've got Portals to Paradise. I think it's a very fitting name for the garden.
Okay.
The theme is celebrating nature in community, and that's what we'll be doing, because Singapore is a city in nature now. Whether they like it or not, they are surrounded by nature. In terms of high-rise buildings, there's beautiful, you know, if you look across, you'll see high-rise buildings that actually do have plantings on their rooftops. They have massive big displays of, you know, wall gardens. Getting attacked by my dog in a nice way.
Oh, Fluffy, come on.
And she missed me as well.
Yeah.
Nelly dog. Yeah, so I think it's just taking it to that next level. So it'd be so interesting to see what we do with our lighting, because the lighting and audio are worth 15 marks. That's going to be a big deal for us.
Yeah.
We're doing something pretty spectacular in the middle of the garden. Yeah.
It is I've been to the Suntec Stadium, whatever it is. Yeah. It is a little bit dark, so it's a bit hard to
lighting's going to be very
record
key.
it all. You know.
We've got waterfall features in there. I think most people would have. This year has been a big push for the whole dynamic of sustainability.
Okay.
Leaving our footprint and you know, upcycling, just bio talks and all sorts of things we've got going there. I think we've got a now I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with what we've got going, actually. Yeah.
That's cool, that's cool.
Yeah,
Really
I think
cool.
we're-
And what's your background? Have you been doing weeds and plants for a long time, or?
Oh, yeah, it just goes way back to when I was 10 years old, and I started, my mum had a huge garden, so I started taking cuttings. And then shortly after that, people would just come into the garden, have a walk around, and they'd see my $2.50 plants, and they'd buy them back
Right.
then, when I was 10. And then it moved from that into when I was accepted into horticultural apprenticeship when I was 18, New Plymouth Parks Department.
Wow, okay.
And I worked for a landscape architect after that. Then I did a state of building, physically building. I ran my own dual-time classes to teach women how to build. Now I've got a landscaping business and a garden centre and a nursery.
Wow.
6 acres, yeah.
And it all feeds each other.
It all feeds each other. The plants that we grow in the nursery, feed Touch the Tropics Garden Centre.
Yeah.
And JM Landscapes also benefits from the plants too.
Right.
Yeah. Both my sons work for me now.
Okay.
Yeah. And my daughter Elena, she's going to come to Singapore with us. She's currently doing designs on a different level.
It's really cool that you're taking the tribe along, and sharing the experience. It really is a wonderful moment,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So,
it's so exciting.
Yeah.
But it's terrifying in a different kind of way, because there's a lot of new things that we'll be doing. But exciting, very exciting. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for giving us
you're very,
a few
very
minutes.
welcome.
I hope people like the movie, and I hope people enjoy the show.
Do come and see us at the show, because it's going to be spectacular. If Singapore's got anything to do with it, they just pull out all the stops and they pick the finest people, and given us good budgets to go there too. So they'll
It's
be
just
expecting
full of wonderful, isn't it?
a wonderful experience. Yeah.
Cool bananas. All right, we'll see you in Singapore.
See you in Singapore.
Yeah, okay. All right.